Hello, this is the How To series, and in this video we'll be going over how to navigate Schedule Builder, which is the second way that you can add classes when you're registering for an upcoming semester. So once again, you'll be starting at your student homepage, and then you'll go and click on the icon that says Registration. Once you've clicked on that, it'll take you to your shopping cart, and we can see right here that I have the class Art 1010 from last time when I added it by entering the permission code. In this video, instead of entering the permission code to add a class to our shopping cart, we're going to be going to Schedule Builder. Once you've clicked on that, it'll take you to an interactive site where you can explore a lot of the classes that the U has to offer. So when it says Select Campus, we want to make sure that we're clicking on Main Campus. The only reason you would be selecting the other one is if you were going to the Utah Asia Campus in South Korea. So we'll click Save and Continue. And then up here, there are a few filters that just change what classes Schedule Builder will show you. So the first one I'll go over is Course Status. Almost everyone is defaulted to only being shown open classes only. So this is why if a friend or a professor told you about a class and you knew that the U offered it and you were looking it up in Schedule Builder but you couldn't find it, that's because the class is now full and Schedule Builder is only showing you the open classes. If you wanted to be able to see classes that were full and had wait lists, or you even just wanted to see a class even if it was full, then you could totally change those options. So we'll save that. And then the next one I want to talk about is instruction modes. And this is just changing whether the classes you're looking at are fully in person, if they're online, if they're interactive, hybrid, and IVC. And you can change that to whichever ones you'd like. I'll keep all of them selected just while I'm showing you guys examples of classes, but you can totally play with that and figure out which classes you'd like to be shown. And then the last one I'll go over is locations. If you're not from around the Salt Lake area or you just didn't know, if you want classes at the main campus, it's very important to have Salt Lake City selected and rather than the general Utah location. If you had any of these other ones selected, it would be for very purposeful reasons, so just make sure that if you want that main campus, you have Salt Lake City selected. So we'll save that. And right here, there should usually be a little box that is telling you that you may not be able to fully register for classes or courses if you have a hold or task that is preventing you from fully enrolling. However, you can still go around Schedule Builder and kind of play with different classes or your schedules, which can be very useful so that you can kind of map out things in advance. So now we have it split between courses and breaks. Right here, I already created one that says sleep, that's just from 7 a.m. to 8:50, and I made it kind of that short amount of time because the more breaks that you add, or the longer that they are, the more troubling it can kind of be and the more conflicts you run into with classes, which is good if you really need, classes that don't interfere with that break that you've made, but it can get a little tricky. I'll show you guys once I've added courses, but breaks would be very useful for if you really need to input your work schedule, or if you have a sports practice that you know you can't miss, or you need time to commute or anything like that. So right here is where you would add some courses. And once again, as a reminder, this is the Art 1010 class that's already in my shopping cart. So I'll go to courses, and then let's say that I want a social and behavioral science elective to fill out my gen eds. I know that psychology can do that for me, so I'd enter PSY, which is psychology, and I'll do general psychology 1010. As a reminder, you want to make sure it's 4 numbers and not 3 for that credit class. So I'll add course, and this gives me a little description just to make sure that it's the course I actually want. And let's say I also want to fulfill a American Institutions course, then I know a poli-sci class will do that for me, so I'll go to political science. And then there's an 1100 US National Gov course that fulfills that AI requirement. So I'll add that one as well. So once you've added your classes, once again, this is the desired courses and this is shopping cart. You can click back, and now your courses are right here, and then your break is still here. I can click generate schedules, and now it's showing me the different combinations. So right now I only have 4 to look at. As a reminder, it's very common that during orientation, freshmen will have around hundreds of schedules. And that's because in a different video, we were talking about the sections that are offered for Writing 2010, and there were 90 plus sections for that class, just because of how many students need to take it. And when you're combining so many different classes that are offered at so many different times, it just becomes many different schedules. And it can be a little overwhelming at times to look through all of them, but there are kind of ways you can narrow it down, and during orientation, you should have someone helping you out. So right now for this example though, I only have 4 to go through. So you can click View, and now it'll show you what your week would look like. Right here in purple, I have my sleep break, and then right here I have psychology. If you're wondering where other classes are and why they're not physically showing up, it's because they are fully online. We see the TBA, and we know the sections right here are 90, so that's going to be online. As a reminder, any sections that are in the 90s are always online. Right here it shows us how many credits, and right here it shows us how many seats are open. This is for an upcoming semester that not many people have registered for, so that's why so many seats are still open, but you could see if it had 0, so you would be waitlisted, and you would also see if it had 2 or 3 seats open, so you know you really want to fully enroll in it. So, for scheduling, it's very important to always think of logistics. You want to make sure that if you have classes back to back, that you have time to navigate the campus and make it from one building to another. Or also, my sleep right here. If I had a class that was a bit earlier, am I commuting? Do I take tracks or do I drive so I need to find a parking spot, or am I living on campus? You need to make sure you give yourself enough time to kind of navigate all of this. So as I want to look through the schedules, I click right up here, and it takes me to the second one where all of my classes would be fully online. It takes me to this one where I have a few more actually in person. And these are on separate days, but if they were on the same day back to back, I'd want to make sure that I have enough time to navigate from my political science class to my psychology one. So let's say I don't want my sleep break anymore. I could click back, and I could remove it right here. So now it's telling me that I modified something, so I want to re-click Generate Schedules. And now I have 9. I have even more because I took away that break. So this is what I'm talking about, that sometimes having too many breaks can really narrow how many schedules would work for you. But if you really need your breaks, then definitely keep them in and just keep looking for one that would work for you. So I can keep looking through these. And all right, let's say that I'm a morning person, so I'll be able to make it to this 7:30 psychology class. And then I have enough time to make it to my political science class. Usually the campus seems big, but usually if you have around 15 or 20 minutes in between your classes, you're going to be able to make it to that class. But if you think otherwise, then definitely change your schedule for whatever works for you. All right, and I like that art is fully online. I like the schedule, so I'm going to click Validate. And this will just tell me that I have nothing that I'm going to run into that would prevent me from registering. It tells me that I should have no problem with it and checks off all of these courses for me. So I'll click OK, and I'll send to my shopping cart. And then click Continue. So now it routes me back to my shopping cart, and I'll want to click right here to import cart to continue with the registration process. So I'll click Import Cart, and then now it's doing what it did last time when I was adding Art 1010, and it's telling me that it's open, so I would click Next. And my other class is open, so I would also click Next for that one. And now it shows me the lineup of my classes, so I can go through, make sure that these are the ones that I really want to add. And to actually get the green check mark, I would click Proceed to Step 2 of 3. As a reminder, this is a different semester, so I can't enroll in these yet, but you would need to fully finish clicking Finish Enrolling. And then you would get the green check mark, and your name would be on the roll for those classes. And to fully check out your schedule, as a reminder, you could go to My Class Schedule. All right, I hope you feel more confident in navigating Schedule Builder, and that's all for this video.